So welcome back. This time in Dreamweaver, we are going to learn how to format some of our text and insert horizontal rules and images. So the first thing we want to do is we want to open up Dreamweaver and get back to our website if you have it closed. So we'll come back into Dreamweaver. Now there's a few ways to get back to it. You can find what you were working on, our first website, in this menu here, or you could go up to File and Open Recent and you'll get both of them there. So obviously we want our first page open, and we also want to open our page 1. So we've got both of them open, and this was our website that we've been working on. So let's have a look at making the page a little bit prettier, I guess, by adding in some elements. So one of the things we can do is we can change the formatting of this heading. Instead of it being left aligned, so lining up with the side, we can center align it. So you can highlight it or just click somewhere within it. And all we need to do for this one is to go to Format, Align, and in this instance we want to choose the center. So you can do this to pretty much any of your text. If you want this paragraph, for example, to be centered, you could go Format, Align, and Center. And whatever you're clicked in, notice it only moves that one paragraph, not all of the other elements. You need to highlight everything. If you want to undo something, you don't like the look of it, you can just use that Control Z function on your keyboard and automatically undo whatever you just did to get back to the original look. But most titles are centered like that. You can also kind of start to change colors here. So we'll highlight what we want to change. You can go into Format, Color. It gives you the option. Just pick the color that you like. I like this kind of maroonish color here. Click OK. Now this page just asking you, what do you actually want to change? Is it all of the writing on the page or just what you've highlighted? It's just what I highlighted. So if you click OK, if we click out of that, you can see that my title has changed. Another thing that you can do is you can insert horizontal rules, which is a line across a page. You could insert that above or below. If we click here and insert a horizontal rule, it's going to insert a line above. Let's have a look at that. So we'll click Insert, come down to HTML, and we want to insert the horizontal rule. So what you can see now is that there's a line right across my page. Now I could do the same thing, insert a horizontal rule underneath this one. So I could insert horizontal, so go back to HTML, horizontal rule, and this time it inserts it after the cursor. So one above and one below. And this is just kind of breaking up the page so that it's not just all writing. Now once I've got that horizontal rule, I can actually change the look of it using this feature down the bottom. So I can change its width. This is how big it appears across the page. Now if I just type in 50 there and press enter, I notice that it goes really, really small, which isn't particularly what I wanted, but that's because pixels is chosen. I can actually change this to percent, and I get about 50% of the page has a horizontal rule underneath it. I can also make this horizontal rule a little bit fatter by changing its height. So I'm going to click 10, and now you can see that the horizontal rule's much larger. So you can play around with that and make whatever the look is that you're going for. Again, if you're unhappy with it, Control Z undoes that, undoes that, undoes that, undoes that, and gets rid of it altogether. So you can play around with horizontal rules and make anything, the look that you want to give it, as well as color and different elements like that. Obviously, websites are pretty boring when there's just writing on a page, so we want to put in some images to make it look a little bit more interesting. So the first thing you need to do though is create a folder where all of your images are going to be stored, so that Dreamweaver knows where they are, so that you know where they are, and that if you make any changes to the image using Dreamweaver, you don't change your original file. So what we'll do is we'll just minimize Dreamweaver and we'll go back to our original folder. Remember our original folder in Digitech, term for first website. And in here we're going to create a folder called images. Now this is where all of the images that we might put into our website would be stored. Now this is just so that we know where they are and Dreamweaver knows where they are. So we've got the folder and obviously it's empty. Now we want to tell Dreamweaver where this folder is, okay, so that it can create copies of all of our images and put them in this folder. So we're in our website, we've got that open. We're going to go up to Site and we're going to go Manage Sites. Now I've got a few more open. You'll probably only have at this stage website 1, so we just want to go into website 1, and you'll remember we told it the name was website 1. We've got where all of our content's being stored, and now we want to say use this folder for images. So we need to go to Advanced Settings, just the local info one, and you can see here it says default images folder. So we're going to say to Dreamweaver we want all of our images to be stored in this folder, please. So we just click on the browse and you should come up to your first website and you should be able to see your images folder if you created it in the right spot. So we're going to click on that, open that, select that, and now we've told Dreamweaver that we want all of our images put in that folder. Any changes we make to them, we want it saved and put in that folder. So we're not changing originals, we're just changing them. So we're going to click Save and we're going to click Done. Now you can see that we have a new folder down here in our information that's for this website called Images. It'll be empty, obviously, we don't have any images in there. So let's put in a simple image. I got a funny one. So is it really that simple? Yep. And I want the image to appear on its own little section. Now I don't want it to be lined up over to the side. I want it in the middle. So I'm just going to format that, align it into the center straight up. So my image is going to go in here. Now, like inserting an image in a Word document, you just go Insert Image. So we'll come up here, Insert, and we click on Image. And it comes up and asks us where do we want to find our image. Now the image that I want to insert is in my desktop, so you'll just need to browse and find a saved image that you want to insert. You could have already stored this in your images folder and just browse there. So I've got this picture on my desktop. There he is. It's kind of cute, so I want to insert this. So I've picked my picture and I just tell Dreamweaver, okay, this is what I want to use. And then this box comes up. Now this box is to essentially explain what the picture is about for somebody who's using your website who might not be able to see that well. But at the moment we're just going to choose empty. So we're not going to put a description in, and then we're going to click OK. So now you can see that there's this lovely picture of underneath. Is it really that simple? Yep. Okay, now I've got the picture clicked on here, so I've selected it, and you can see that down the bottom I can change pretty much, the size of it using the different pixels and everything. So if I didn't like, the size and I wanted to make it a little bit smaller, I could just change this, and it's absolutely tiny. Okay, again, I don't like that. I'll go back to the original by doing the Control Z option, and I can try again and pick whatever picture size that I want to use there. But I quite like the size of this picture, so I'm going to just leave it there, and I'm just going to make sure that I go up and click File and Save All. So now you can change the color. You can center your writing, you can insert horizontal bars to put some different spaces within your page, and you know how to insert a picture, align it, and make it the size that you want it to be. So have fun adding some different elements to your website and see how you go in making it look better than the original.